Welcome back, everyone, to Echoes of Insight. And today we're taking a deep dive into, well, a pretty fascinating subject, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
The Sefer Yetzirah.
The Book of Creation.
That's it, the Book of Creation.
Mm-hmm.
This mystical text, it's all about connecting Jewish spirituality with the cosmos.
Yeah,
And get this, it's attributed to Abraham.
that's right. The Sefer Yetzirah, even though its exact origins are kind of, shrouded in a bit of mystery, has really been a foundational text in Jewish mysticism for centuries.
Yeah, for centuries.
Yeah.
So, okay, what is it about this book? What makes it so special?
So the Sefer Yetzirah, it's really trying to explain the creation of the universe.
Okay.
And it uses this fascinating combination of language, numbers, and astrological concepts.
Okay.
It proposes that God, who's often referred to as Ein Sof the Infinite, created the universe using 32 mystical paths of wisdom.
32 paths of wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Break that down for me.
So these paths, they consist of the 10 Sephirot, which are emanations of divine energy, and then also the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet.
Okay.
So think of it this way, like the Sephirot, they're like the blueprints for the universe, for its structure and how it evolves.
Okay.
While the Hebrew letters, those are the building blocks, the raw materials that God used to actually shape reality.
So it's almost like saying that the universe is like this divine code written in the language of Hebrew letters.
Yeah.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is. And what's really amazing is that the Sefer Yetzirah, it doesn't stop there. It goes on to connect these principles of creation to the 12 constellations of the Zodiac, the planets, the elements.
Okay.
It's essentially weaving Jewish spirituality together with these astrological concepts.
Wait, hold on. Are we saying that Jewish tradition embraces astrology?
Yeah.
That's not something you hear every day.
You're right. It is a really complex relationship. While today, mainstream Jewish practice doesn't really focus on astrology.
Right.
The Sefer Yetzirah and other Kabbalistic texts, they reveal this deep fascination with the cosmos and its influence on human life.
I see.
They saw in the movements of the heavens a reflection of the divine plan.
So how does this cosmic connection actually play out in Jewish tradition? Are we talking about things like the calendar and the festivals?
Exactly. The Jewish calendar, which follows a lunisolar system, it's tied to the cycles of both the sun and the moon.
Right.
And these major festivals like Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot, often associated with historical events, they also coincide with these key points in the solar and lunar cycles.
Hold on. Are we saying that festivals like Passover, which commemorates the Exodus from Egypt, is also tied to the cosmos?
Precisely. So Passover, for example, is celebrated in the spring, around the time of the vernal equinox, when the sun enters the astrological sign of Aries.
Okay.
And this alignment, what it does is it adds another layer of meaning to the festival.
Okay.
So it becomes not just a celebration of liberation, but also this recognition of springtime and renewal.
So we're seeing this connection between historical events, the Jewish calendar, and then also these movements, the stars and planets. But how did the ancient authors of the Sefer Yetzirah, how did they view this connection? Did they think this was just a coincidence?
Not at all. They believed that these connections were deeply meaningful.
Right.
The timing of the festivals, the cycles of the year, even the characteristics of the 12 tribes of Israel were all intertwined with the cosmos.
Wait, each tribe has a connection to the cosmos. What do you mean by that?
Yeah. So the Sefer Yetzirah links each of the 12 tribes of Israel to a specific constellation of the Zodiac, suggesting that each tribe kind of embodies certain qualities that align with the traits that are associated with its corresponding astrological sign.
Could you give me an example? This is fascinating.
Of course. So think about the tribe of Judah.
Yeah.
They're associated with the sign of Leo.
The lion.
The lion, exactly.
Yeah.
Leo is often associated with, leadership, courage, and kingship.
Okay.
Qualities that align with the traditional view of the tribe of Judah, from which, of course, King David descended.
So it's not just this random assignment. There's this deeper symbolism connecting each tribe's characteristics with its astrological sign. It's almost like a cosmic family tree.
That's a great way to put it. The Sefer Yetzirah suggests this, really profound interconnected relationship between the Jewish people, their history, and the cosmos. Right. It implies that, our fates and our identities are interwoven with the movements of the stars and the planets.
It's almost like saying there's this like cosmic dance happening with like the heavens and human destiny constantly interacting.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see why this text has captivated people for centuries.
It's truly a remarkable text.
Yeah.
And we've only just, started to explore it.
Right.
There's so much more to uncover when it comes to the Sefer Yetzirah.
Yeah.
And its influence on Jewish thought and practice.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Sounds good. This cosmic dance, it really takes center stage when you look at the Jewish festivals.
That's right. We were just talking about how Passover aligns with the spring equinox and Aries.
Mm-hmm.
What about the other major festivals? Do they have these astrological connections too?
Absolutely. Take Shavuot, for example.
Okay.
The festival commemorating the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai.
Right.
It falls near the summer solstice.
Okay.
The longest day of the year.
Right. Good.
When the sun enters the sign of Cancer.
And Cancer is often associated with like home, family, nurturing.
Right.
Is there a link to the Torah there?
There is. So you see, receiving the Torah, it's often viewed as this like moment of spiritual birth for the Jewish people.
I see.
It establishes a covenant between God and the Jewish people. So it's a kind of spiritual family.
So the Torah becomes like the foundation of their spiritual home.
Exactly.
Okay, I see the connection.
Yeah.
What about Sukkot? That one's all about building like those temporary shelters and dwelling in them. Right?
Exactly. Sukkot, the Festival of Booths, is a harvest festival.
Okay.
Celebrated in the autumn, near the autumnal equinox.
Right.
When the sun enters the sign of Libra.
Libra. That's all about balance and harmony.
Mm-hmm.
How does that tie into Sukkot?
Well, Sukkot comes at the end of the agricultural year.
Right.
It's a time to reflect on that balance between our material needs and our spiritual aspirations.
I see.
The temporary nature of the sukkah, it reminds us that the physical world is, impermanent.
Right.
And it encourages us to seek this, a deeper, more lasting connection with the divine.
So we've got Passover aligning with the spring, Shavuot with the summer, and Sukkot with the autumn. It's like this whole rhythm of the year.
Yeah.
A cycle of renewal, revelation, and then reflection.
Yeah.
All kind of mapped onto the cosmos.
And that concept of cycles is central to the Sefer Yetzirah.
Okay.
Just as, the letters of the alphabet can be combined and recombined to create infinite words and meanings.
Yeah.
So too do the celestial cycles, the seasons, and even our own lives.
Right.
Repeat and renew, kind of weaving together this fabric of existence.
It really is this whole idea of the universe as this text written in Hebrew. Yeah. The tribes linked to the Zodiac, the festivals mirroring these cosmic events.
Yeah.
It's quite a lot to take in. What do you think is the most important thing for someone to understand if they're just starting to explore this side of Jewish thought?
I think the most important point is that the Sefer Yetzirah invites us to see the world and ourselves through this lens of interconnectedness.
Okay.
It encourages us to look beyond the surface of things and recognize these deeper patterns and meanings that are woven into the fabric of existence.
It's like saying everything is connected,
Yeah.
Like there's this hidden order to the universe. And we can tap into that wisdom by understanding the language of creation. That's both humbling and empowering at the same time.
It is.
Yeah.
And that sense of wonder and interconnectedness, that's what makes the Sefer Yetzirah, for a lot of people, not just some ancient text, but a source of ongoing inspiration and spiritual insight.
Yeah.
It reminds us that the universe is this living, breathing entity filled with these secrets and mysteries that are just waiting to be uncovered.
It really is making me see the world in a whole new light. Letters, numbers, planets, stars, even my own life,
Yeah.
It's all dancing to this cosmic rhythm.
Yeah.
But let's bring it back down to earth for a moment.
Okay.
How does this ancient mystical text with all its cosmic symbolism relate to the lives of regular people? Does it offer any practical guidance?
That's where the idea of Tikkun Olam comes in.
Tikkun Olam.
Yeah.
That's the concept of repairing the world, right?
Exactly.
I've heard that phrase before.
Uh-huh.
But how does it connect to the Sefer Yetzirah?
So the Sefer Yetzirah sees creation as this, ongoing process.
All right.
And it suggests that we as humans, we have a role to play in perfecting the world, in bringing that balance and harmony to the universe.
So we're not just like passive observers in this cosmic dance.
Right.
We're like active participants. But how do we actually like repair the world? That seems like a pretty tall order.
It is a tall order, but within the framework of the Sefer Yetzirah, repairing the world can be understood as like aligning ourselves with the divine will.
Okay.
By studying the Torah, practicing acts of loving kindness, pursuing knowledge, and, living ethically.
Right.
We contribute to the refinement of creation.
Okay.
And so, in a way, we play a part in the unfolding of that divine plan.
So even like the smallest acts of goodness, of bringing like light into the world, can create this ripple effect.
Yeah.
And contribute to that cosmic balance.
Exactly.
That's a really powerful message of hope and responsibility.
It is. It's a call to recognize our interconnectedness.
Right.
And to act in ways that bring healing and wholeness to the world around us, to ourselves, and ultimately to the cosmos as a whole.
Wow. That's a beautiful and profound idea.
Yeah.
It really makes you kind of rethink your own role, not just in your own life, but in this grand scheme of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the magic of the Sefer Yetzirah. It pushes us to think differently.
Yeah.
To see the world with fresh eyes.
Right.
And to find meaning and purpose in what might seem ordinary.
This has been an incredible journey so far.
Yeah.
We've gone from the Hebrew alphabet to the creation of the universe, to the Zodiac, to Jewish festivals, and now to repairing the world.
It's quite a journey.
It's amazing how this one text can hold so much wisdom.
It really is. It truly is a remarkable text.
Yeah.
And there's still so much more to explore.
You're listening to Echoes of Insight, where we dive deep into the topics shaping our world. From the planet and politics to health, consciousness, economy, and alternative lifestyles. If you're enjoying the journey, make sure to subscribe and share this podcast with others who love exploring new perspectives.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the Sefer Yetzirah. We've been talking about this ancient text as this kind of like blueprint for the universe, this cosmic code written in the language of Hebrew letters, but it's more than just a theoretical framework, right?
It is, yeah. The Sefer Yetzirah has actually had a really profound impact on Jewish mystical practices, particularly in Kabbalah.
So when we say mystical practices, what do we actually mean?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of things are we talking about here?
Well, Kabbalists, drawing on those principles in the Sefer Yetzirah, they developed all these different techniques and practices aimed at like connecting with the divine, tapping into those, kind of hidden energies, and even, some believe, like influencing the course of events.
Okay, that sounds intense.
Yeah.
Can you give me like an example?
Sure. One prominent practice is the contemplation of Hebrew letters and all their different combinations.
Right.
Kabbalists believe that each letter actually embodies a unique spiritual force.
Okay.
And by meditating on them, you can access those energies and integrate them into your being.
So it's like each letter is almost like a key that unlocks like a specific door in this like cosmic palace.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And the Sefer Yetzirah, it's kind of like this map for understanding how those keys work, how they interact, and how they can be used to like, unlock those mysteries of creation.
It's all fascinating. Yeah. But, I have to admit, some of this feels a little like out there.
Right.
Are there any practices that are inspired by the Sefer Yetzirah that might be a little more accessible?
Oh, absolutely. Consider Jewish prayer and chanting.
Okay.
The emphasis on that creative power of language in the Sefer Yetzirah has really had a profound impact on these practices.
What do you mean?
Well, the specific way that Hebrew words are pronounced,
the
rhythmic patterns of prayer,
these
are believed to actually resonate with divine realms, creating this channel for communication and connection.
So it's not just about like the words themselves, but it's like the way they're spoken, the intention behind them. It's like almost like a vibrational energy that connects us to something greater.
That's a really good way to put it. The Sefer Yetzirah reminds us that language, especially sacred language, it can be more than just a means of communication. It can be this tool to shape reality, to bridge that gap between the human and the divine.
It makes you think about how we use language in our own lives, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. The power that our words have.
Yeah.
Not just on ourselves, but on like everyone around us.
Exactly.
Maybe there's a deeper lesson there for all of us, no matter what our like spiritual beliefs are.
There definitely is.
Yeah.
At its core, the Sefer Yetzirah encourages this mindful approach to speech, using language consciously, intentionally to create harmony rather than discord.
Throughout this whole deep dive, I've been wrestling with this question.
Yeah.
What does the Sefer Yetzirah have to say to us today?
Right.
Like in the 21st century.
Yeah.
Is it still relevant in a world dominated by technology and science?
That's a question that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And while the Sefer Yetzirah is this ancient text, its core message is surprisingly relevant today.
Okay.
That idea of interconnectedness, the power of language, our role as these co-creators of the universe.
Yeah.
These are timeless concepts. They speak to something, I think, deep within the human spirit.
So even in a world that often feels like fragmented and chaotic, the Sefer Yetzirah is reminding us that we're all part of something much bigger.
Yeah.
That our actions have meaning.
Right.
And that we have the power to shape reality.
Exactly. It challenges us to look beyond just the material world, to see that spiritual dimension of existence, that divine spark within ourselves and in all of creation.
It's like saying that magic is still real if we know where to look. It's a message of hope and empowerment.
Yeah.
A reminder that we're not just cogs in a machine.
Right.
We're participants in this grand cosmic adventure.
And that, I think, is perhaps the most profound teaching of the Sefer Yetzirah. This call to awaken to that mystery and wonder of existence, to recognize our interconnectedness with everything, and to live in alignment with that divine will, even in the midst of our modern world.
What a journey this has been.
It has.
We've explored those mystical origins of the Sefer Yetzirah, its influence on, Jewish thought and practice.
Right.
And it's enduring relevance for all of us today.
Yeah.
I started this deep dive feeling curious, but I'm walking away feeling inspired.
That's great.
And I think we all need a little bit of that, like, Sefer Yetzirah magic in our lives.
Yeah, I agree.
So thank you for joining us on this incredible exploration. Keep those echoes of insight alive.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Echoes of Insight. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who loves exploring big ideas. Together, let's keep the conversation going. See you next time.